And welcome into the JUCO Rush. I'm Mike Fraser. Our producer and engineer is Blake Gravett down in Missouri as we talk JUCO football, making our tour around the great state of Mississippi. Today we're gonna talk with Coahoma head football coach Larry Williams in a couple of moments, and then also Butler. Big news: head coach Bryce Vanieri took the job at Kansas. Left last week. So they've got to fill that position and see who the interim's going to be. So anyway, on the program today, we're going to talk with Charles Chaney, the sports editor for the Butler County Times, and then we'll have Larry Williams, head football coach of the Coahoma Tigers, as we make our way through Mississippi, then to the Independents, then the Iowa, Texas, and Kansas. All right, let's bring in Charles Chaney, sports editor, Butler County Times Gazette, to talk Butler football. Charles Chaney now joins us, sports editor for the Butler County Times Gazette. And Chuck, man, the place I want to start is with the former head coach, Bryce Vanieri. Man, he has surprised everybody. He got a great opportunity at Kansas. Good for him. But where does that leave Butler now?
They'll have Coach Woody as their interim, and I think Woody's good enough, and I know players love him and they buy in if they wanted to make him the head coach. I don't know Coach Wood all that well to be able to step in and be like, yeah, this man wants to do this job. And seeing Bryce leave was a little surprised, but if you heard if you saw the smoke where there was fire, there was opportunities. I know Louisiana Monroe had an opportunity. I know some high schools in Kansas wanted him. But I asked him flat out last year, I go, what's the realistic of you leaving? He goes, it's got to be the perfect job. And we spoke on the phone last week or when I first found out. And he goes, Lance Leipold at KU reminds me of Troy Morrell. If you know who Troy Morrell is, you kind of don't know junior college football because he's one of the most winningest JUCO coaches of all time. Yeah. And it was his mentor. And so they still talk to this day. And I got to know Coach Morrell a little bit. And yeah, he goes, the way he acts, the way he presents himself, the way his programs ran, he goes, it reminds me a lot of that. He goes, and I want to be a part of that. And that's saying a lot because he's a K-State guy. So to be able to make that transition, it's got to be a big impact.
Well, look, D1's D1. Money's money. You can be a K-State guy. That's great. But Kansas comes calling. This is a great opportunity. You check the loyalty at the door, I would think. But, man, where does that put Butler? I know recruiting is pretty much in the bag. Plenty of time to rebound. This does happen. This isn't, something out of the ordinary. But just your assessment. You got the beat on Butler. Are they going to be able to keep rowing as usual at this juncture?
Yeah, I think for Bryce, him leaving, it is a hole. I mean, you've had this continuity of someone on the staff being a head coach for many, many years because you had Morrell. First, it was James Shibas in 96, 97, and it was Troy Morrell for over a decade. And then Tim Schaffner took over, then Bryce, and now Coach Woody. But I don't know where they go. They had a lot of opportunities, a lot of interest when Coach Tim Schaffner left. And I know a coach from California, I want to say Ventura, don't quote me on that, but I don't know if he was a retired coach, but I was told Ventura, and we'll see. I think Butler is one of the premier jobs out there. I think they'll have a lot of interest. I think junior college is in a weird place right now with the whole Diego Pavia thing. And I know a lot of coaches, it was weird. Basketball coaches weren't that upset by the ruling. It was the football coaches that did not like it. That's where I saw a lot of pushback. But it's going to be interesting. JUCO, you're always recruiting. You got to recruit your own kids if you want them there in the fall because you got to keep them happy until they enroll in those classes and start those classes. So, it's going to be interesting where they go. I'm assuming a national search. I mean, that's what they did previously when Schaffner left. So there's no reason they shouldn't do that again.
Yeah, you talk about recruiting a Seven Cloud, a talented defensive lineman for the Grizzlies. Man, just went on an Auburn visit I saw recently. What are the odds now with Vanieri leaving? What are the odds of Seven leaving?
I don't think he'll leave because, I mean, with junior college, and if you guys have gone to junior college, you know those credits are hard to transfer. They are, and I think junior college is, I don't know the academic side of it, but I feel like they do that on purpose. They want you to graduate because if you graduate, those 64 credits automatically transfer your junior at your next school, and those schools have to take those credits. But if you transfer without a degree, those four-year schools can pick and choose. I don't know if I want this math class. Maybe you have to retake it. I do know I will be shocked if he goes anywhere but Georgia. I know he was committed to the Dogs pre-Butler. I know every SEC school in the world's offered him, and I know North Texas trying to throw their hat in the ring. But, yeah, he took the Auburn visit. I think he went to South Carolina, LSU. I mean, he's at least doing his due diligence. I know he's a dog at heart, but he's doing his due diligence. Personally, if I had a choice, I'd want him to go down to Norman. But Seven Cloud, what just an amazing kid, just an amazing athlete. There's only one team. It's hard to say one team beat him because it was really Seven Cloud that beat Hutch. Hutch was Seven Cloud is an insane player. I think he's a future NFL starter, and that's hard for me to say. I don't say that about a lot of kids. He's the first one I've seen since Michael Gallup that's come along, and I'm like, he's going to be playing on Sunday. And,
hey, look,
yeah,
what a great parting gift. Vanieri leaves Butler. They went out and got a quarterback.
Oh, yeah. The Dylan Dunn transfers in from BYU. I watched him in high school. He's an absolute stud. The way he can throw the ball, his maturity on the floor. And I think that's – or floor. Sorry, I'm coming from basketball, but maturity on the gridiron. I do think that's what was missing last year. They didn't have a quarterback, and if they had a quarterback, I think they compete for that national title. I think they win the national title. That defense last year was statistically one of the best Butler's ever had. And to go just – be on the outside looking in of the season just because they could not finish it games and score points. I mean, I think there was 5 games where they had a 14-0 lead at some point, and the offense just could not score points, and they ended up scoring single digits or in the low 20s.
Yeah, what's your take on Kansas overall? The Jayhawk. You got Tom Minnick stepping in now at Highland. He's on their website, so it's official.
Yeah.
Just your overall assessment here. I know you're in the heart of basketball. It's only March, but just your thought on the Kansas conference.
Well, thankfully, basketball's done. I don't ever get – and we already started baseball. That started Thursday. But anyway, yeah, Minnick is a great name for the Highland. If someone's going to be able to go into Highland and win, it's going to be Tom. He's already proven he can go to a rural area and win. Look what he did at Arizona Western. I mean, I know there was other schools out there, but to pull in national guys in to take him to Arizona, he did that. So if someone can go to Highland and win, absolutely it's going to be Tom. I know he had his stroke, and that I personally don't know his health, but if he's healthy, he can coach. And so I think it's a good hire. It's just going to be really interesting. I know Highland's really tough. I remember talking to a coach. He goes, we cannot get kids to come here. It is a really small town. There is a gas station. There is a really nice bar and grill, but that's it. You're like an hour and a half from Kansas City. You're an hour and a half from Manhattan, and you're not really around anything. You just go there to play ball. That is it. You're ball in school. So, I mean, you got to find the right kids to get invested and buy in. I think they got great facilities, brand new turf, brand new scoreboard. I mean, the pieces are there for Highland to win.
And they did last year. They had a couple of nice, good years. So we'll see if Tom can continue it. And looking forward to watching him work the magic out there at Highland. Chuck, man, always good to see you. Thanks for jumping on the Rush.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Larry Williams now joining us, head football coach for the Coahoma Tigers up in Clarksdale, the northern part of the great state of Mississippi. Coach, welcome into the JUCO Rush, man. First question to you is what was most appealing to you about accepting the Coahoma position?
Well, like I say, just talking with our AD, our athletic director, Ms. Reed, and just getting over here, just visiting the campus and looking at the facilities, and got a chance to sit down and talk to Dr. Turner. I'm like I said, I'm from this area. I understand this area, but I understand the days when we used to come up here and play Coahoma and they facilities and all that. And I'm talking about it's night and day now. I mean, they have really the board, the school administrator, they really have put a lot of emphasis in athletics, not only in football but all sports. I mean, it's a turnaround from women's softball, baseball, men's and women's basketball. Both of them made playoff. Our girls made it to the Final Four this year. But I mean, it's a great place, and like I say, it's a lot of athletes in this area, and with the location and with the connection we got and with the facility, I think it was a no-brainer situation.
Yeah, with Dr. Towner, the president of Coahoma, that's a great guy. He's not only pro athletics, but just down to earth, really good guy, man. I've met him a few times, and boy, you get a great vibe when you're hanging around him. So yeah, it's good to hear. He's a terrific guy, and you guys are in good hands with Doc Towner over there at Coahoma and Clarksdale. All right, Larry, let's jump to some of your players. I want to start running back. I'm a running back guy on the offensive side. I love O-lineman too, but boy, that running back position is punishing. Lazarus Penn is a running back I know you're high on. What do you like about him, and what are your expectations for him in your program?
Well, right now, just getting here, I remember when the kid came out of high school, we really got to a situation we were going to try to take him, but we ended up getting another kid that kind of local. But I know just watching him last year, just some stats and stuff, and really put up some good numbers, and just watching him so far in the workout, off-season workouts since he got here. I mean, he was the first guy to call me the first day when I got the job, just what you want to do, coach, what we need to do to get better, and he's doing a great job in the workouts and just leading them guys, and just watching what we practiced for the first time Thursday. And just watch him make some moves, some cuts. And I think he's an older guy. He got a little bit more strong, a little bit more bigger. And I think we think the world of him because he can catch the ball out the backfield and understand what's going on.
Harrison Edwards, another guy that jumps out at me on film. Talk about him and his role with the Tigers.
Well, like I say, he's a kid that we really kind of, just hoping he get here and understand what really going on. I know he got a lot of guys that came in on him is try to recruit him and stuff, and they're just hoping him I think he's gonna be one of those guys to really kind of help us really with, like say, in the backfield. I'm big on running the ball, and I know he had he had a lot of 1AA offers, but he really wanted the opportunity to play Division I ball, and I told him he had an opportunity to come here and get re-recruited.
Isaac Day, another running back in that backfield.
I mean, he's I really liked him from thought it was the one I got when I was at Hines, just because I had most at the area. But I mean, just he can do so many different positions. He can play running back, he can play slot. He does it all. Kickoff, punt return. I mean, he was one of the guys that I went visit personally when I first took the job because, like I say, he's only 30 minutes down the road, but it's a lot of JUCO who own him. And I just trying to sell them, just come here, and you got an opportunity to come here and be a star. Your parents get to come to games and all. But I mean, he's one of the guys we felt like we had to get from day one when I took this job.
Like Kyron Williams, another offensive lineman. I know you're high on him.
Yeah, he's a kid, come from Clarksdale High School, played for won a lot of ball games over there. And, he's one of the guys, just kind of just old study JUCO guy, just a study leader, always, first there, trying to hold kids accountable. And just like I like his leadership skill, and he started every game last year for us. And like I say, he got opportunity to come, really be, get a good offer. Once he leave here in December.
Another guy I want to jump on real quick here at the wide receiver position, CJ Davis. Is he a slot guy? Where do you see him playing, and what's his best asset? Is he a great route runner, great hand speed? What is it?
Well, CJ is a kid that came in. We got him transfer in for South Alabama, and was a highly recruited kid coming out of high school. And right now we got him playing inside and outside receiver. And, because like I say, he run great routes. He's an older kid, understands what's going on, can pick up stuff. I mean, but like I say, week time, I think he's in the 4.443 range. You know, he's a rangy kid, around about 6'1". You know, he can play in that slot. He also can play outside. It just all depends on where we can get some matchups with him, but also what we can bring in to complement him if we have to put him at. I really want him to play inside, but we gotta be able to, you know, he can play outside also.
Coach, we thank you so much for jumping on the Rush. We look forward to having you back on later in the summer. I want to talk more about your defensive guys and all that. Congrats on landing the job up in Clarksdale, and we will talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Anytime. Anytime you're welcome, come on over. You know, like I said, it's gonna be an exciting brand of football this year at Coahoma, and just, you know, you guys welcome anytime.
Good to see Larry Williams. Terrific guy. I've known him from a long time. His days at Hines, just a JUCO guy. Good to see him land on his feet up there in Clarksdale at Coahoma. Special thanks also to Charles Chaney. Boy, we love Charles. That guy, that is the JUCO guy. He knows his stuff. The sports editor for the Butler County Times-Gazette. We had him here on the JUCO Rush. That'll wrap up this week's edition of The Rush. For our producer and engineer, Blake Gravitt, I'm Mike Fraser saying so long, everybody.